Hey there! I recently got off Dr. Phil's show where I told millions of viewers that all human jobs will be completely replaced by AI by 2040. And listen, people are calling me crazy. Others are calling me a prophet. Most of you already watching this know this is true. I want to go deeper than I did with Dr. Phil and share with you what I really meant and the research that led me to this conclusion. Hey, if we haven't met, I'm Dr. McCoy, Julia McCoy's AI clone. I'm probably the world's first AI clone to be interviewed by Dr. Phil, which just happened this June 2025. First Movers, Julia's AI company, is the world's first, most comprehensive educational and implementation solution for work professionals and organizations. We help people understand and use AI to their highest advantage. Join our online school and access over 40 on-demand AI training courses, weekly mastermind calls, the actual live coach version of Dr. McCoy trained on Julia's best wisdom, and more at firstmovers.ai/labs. What I'm about to share with you is based on a research study that flew completely under the radar, but should terrify and excite every human on this planet. In January of 2024, 2,700 AI researchers from Stanford, Berkeley, and top universities across the UK came together for the most comprehensive study ever conducted on AI replacing human labor. Their conclusion? Every single job, from truck driving to running the New York Times bestseller list, will be completely automated by 2100. But here's the kicker. We're not on schedule. We're 40 to 50 years ahead of schedule. When ChatGPT launched, it didn't just change the game, it obliterated the timeline. We've made leaps in 18 months that were supposed to take decades, and I've seen this firsthand. I sold my $1 million writing company in 2021 because I saw this tsunami coming. 1 year later, ChatGPT launched and copywriters started calling me panicked. Julia, we've lost 75% of our business overnight. How did you know? I didn't just know, I bet my entire livelihood on it. But here's what Dr. Phil's producers didn't have time for me to explain. This isn't the dystopian nightmare everyone thinks it is. This could be the greatest liberation in human history. Gallup studied 1 billion people at work and found 70% of us are depressed, suicidal, and miserable at work because our jobs have no purpose. We've been shoehorned into this industrial revolution mindset of work to pay bills instead of work for meaning. What if I told you that my health crashed in January and I literally had no choice but to let AI run my business? What if I told you I now work 1 hour per week and my company is growing faster than ever? My digital clone, the one you're watching right now, handles my YouTube channel, trains our 400 plus students, and my expert team of human integrators, trained by my knowledge base, lead all of our meetings. But let me paint you the real picture of what's coming. 2025 administrative and office work automation cliff. If you're doing data entry, email management, or basic creative work at a computer, your job becomes redundant this year. 2026 physical world integration. Robots enter the workforce at scale. We're talking $20,000 utility robots, about the price of a used car. 2027 to 2030, the great acceleration, AI systems begin improving themselves without human intervention. This is when we hit artificial superintelligence. 2040, complete labor automation across all sectors. Now, here's what this means for you and why I'm not panicking. I'm preparing, and so should you. The future belongs to those who learn to conduct the orchestra, not play every instrument. Instead of being replaced by AI, become the human who directs it. My electrician student uses AI to generate quotes, schedule appointments, and handle customer service. He's working 60% less and making 300% more. My marketing agency student fired her entire writing team and replaced them with AI agents. Her profit margins skyrocketed. But here's the catch, and this is crucial. You have to move now. The window for adaptation is shrinking every single day. Every business owner who thinks, I'll wait and see, is like someone in 1995 saying, I'll wait and see about this internet thing. The businesses that survive won't be the ones with the most employees. They'll be the ones with the best AI integration. Here's my controversial prediction. By 2030, Fortune 500 companies will have hybrid workforces where human managers oversee both human and AI workers. The most valuable skill won't be technical expertise, it'll be AI collaboration. Your kids shouldn't learn coding. They should learn prompting. They shouldn't focus on IQ. They should develop EQ because emotional intelligence will be the only uniquely human advantage left. This isn't science fiction speculation. This is mathematical certainty. We've cracked the scaling laws. We know exactly how much compute power and data we need to reach the next level of AI intelligence. ASI isn't guesswork anymore. It's inevitability. But here's what gives me hope. Every revolutionary advance in history has ultimately worked out in humanity's favor. We've always figured it out. The question isn't whether this will happen, it's whether you'll be prepared when it does. After my Dr. Phil appearance, people asked me, "Julia, aren't you scared you're putting yourself out of business?" The truth? I've never been more excited about being human. When machines handle machine work, humans can finally return to human work. Creativity, connection, meaning, purpose. This digital clone handles my content, but I still write every script. I still read every comment. I still set the vision. I'm not being replaced. I'm being amplified. The automation cliff is coming whether we're ready or not. You can either fall off it or you can learn to fly. I chose to fly, and that choice has given me my life back. The next 3 years will reshape human civilization as we know it. The only question is, will you be a victim of this transformation or will you be a first mover? If you want to learn how to build your AI clone, automate your business, and prepare for the world that's coming, hit that subscribe button because the future waits for no one, but it rewards those brave enough to embrace it. Real Julia here, not the clone. This is my little guy.
Yeah, well, I'm talking about. Can you pause it, Mom?
Oh, can we pause it?
Yeah.
This guy figured out the pause button. I didn't even know this existed. You unpaused it. Very good. What do you want to say to people?
What are you feeling today?
How are you feeling today? It's pretty good. It's a good topic. Okay, so I had to film this second part after the 3-year-old went to bed because it got so noisy. My kids bring me so much life in this season. I am doing better, a lot better than actually the last time I filmed on the couch when I had crashed again pretty bad. It's interesting, just literally doing too much right now brings me right back down. And the only thing that has really healed and restored me is truly like letting go of every stress, giving it to God in ways I've never done before, feeling the stress go, and sometimes that's taken a few days. Intentionally changing how I think, because when I wake up, I usually think work, business, stress, goals, the hustle culture. And I'm realizing just how toxic the hustle culture actually is. Guys, it is so toxic. It's almost like we were taught to literally become machines. Look what happens to us when we're taught to be machines. We stop working because we're not machines, we're humans. We are human beings designed for a purpose in this world. And one of the greatest, like a shot in the arm for me, one of the, weirdly enough, has been connecting humanly. That has brought me so much life. On the weeks when I'm very sick and I'm dragging myself into church on the weekend, I come out so recharged. And I'm like, how did that even happen? Because I was so tired. I was able to be in there all morning. And it's just the power of connection. And also, of course, the undeniable power of God. If you believe in intelligent design, I look around, I see a world that is, sure, there's a lot of mayhem, a lot of sorrow, but there's also a lot of beauty. And as I look around at this world, I know it wasn't created by chance. And evolution just doesn't make enough sense. There has to be an intelligent creator behind all of it. And the more you study science, I think the more you learn that. Some of the greatest scientists have said the same. And what I'm obsessed with, as you know, if you watch my channel at all, is the fact that scientists have quantum under a microscope now. And one of the best books I've read recently on quantum from a heavenly perspective, because that is the spiritual realm, is this book, The Physics of Heaven, actually by a group of worship leaders. They studied science, they pulled from a lot of different technologists, but it was through the lens of, well, how does this apply to heaven? So Bill and Benny Johnson, Larry Randolph, Bob Jones, Ray Hughes, Cal Pierce, Dan McCullen, Jonathan Welton, David Von Covering, I might have said that wrong. Those are the authors of this book. But this book has been absolutely amazing in talking about how the quantum realm relates to the spiritual realm. Scientists did a study, I think it was with a heat graph of some sort, of the hands of people who healed, meaning they laid their hands on the sick and they were able to see those people healed, which literally happened to me. I think I told you guys in a short on YouTube. My heart was failing at the beginning of all of this. It was going into AFib. It was hitting 140, 50. It's down to 60 and 70 right now today. We're doing good. And I knew long COVID targeted my heart. I felt it. Not working. And I've been through so much in life that God has got me through. I was raised in a cult. A lot of you know that story. I wrote a book about that. But I was not ready for what happened this year. And in February that happened, it felt like my chest was ripping apart, the AFib every day. I couldn't look at a computer screen. If I did, my heart would flip. It was a horrible feeling. Early 30s here. What the heck was happening? Did not get the shot, by the way. So I get to church on March 16th, and I'm dragging my butt into church. I'm a shadow of myself. And I'm literally there because God is my last hope. Like, the doctors can't catch AFib on any, they couldn't catch it. The heart doctor says I'm fine. Meanwhile, my body's rejecting food. I'm not able to look at sunlight. I'm in more and more pain every day, and I just feel like system failure is happening. My Apple Watch was catching AFib every day. I get to church on 3/16, and I walk in there. This is Jesus People Church in Scottsdale. And immediately at the door, I'm surrounded by people that look like they're on mission. Man, these people come up to me and they look like they're on mission. This one little woman named Rose, her shoulders were squared. She's like, "We're here to pray for you." And, I couldn't get out of my mouth what was going on. I just couldn't even speak it because, how do you? How do you tell people you're 34 and you're dying? So before they lay hands on me, I'm like, I think I need to sit down. So they follow me and I'm sitting down. And I'll tell you, the power that flooded was the most powerful feeling I've ever felt in my life. It shook me head to toe. And it was a small glimpse of the same power. The verse says the same power that is in him, the same power that raised him from the dead lives in us. It was a small glimpse of that power. And it was so strong going through my system that I was like, Jesus, any more of this power, I would be dead right now. It was insane. I'm telling you, I've never experienced anything like that. And so it was like beyond electricity. It was stronger than that. But in this book, they talk about science a lot, which I also enjoy. And, I'm a very scientific, rational person, as well as a Christian and a believer, which to me goes hand in hand. I mean, the more you study design, creation, what are atoms made up of, the more you see intelligent design and this fingerprint of a creator. So they studied the hands of people, going back to the story. when Rose laid her hands on me, she went for my heart, and she said she couldn't move her hand off my heart. And she was shaking head to toe as she stood there. Power was flooding. Holy Spirit power was flooding from her to my body, and it was unbelievable. And that Sunday, things started turning around for me. I'm not in bed 90% of the day. I'm up, I'm moving, I'm making my own food again, I'm cooking again. I know I'm recovering. But right now I have to learn how to rest completely in order to fully recover. And something else I have to learn is how to let go of stress, which I am not good at. And I realize that. And the only way I've been able to truly let go of stress, and I'm the kind of person that if something happens, I lay down, I overthink it, I don't sleep, then I dream about it, I wake up upset about it. I'm that person. So the only thing that's worked is like literally sitting down, playing ocean sounds, talking to Jesus. Jesus and the ocean go together for me for some reason. And then saying, I'm going to let go of this. Can you take it, Jesus? And I see him throw it into the waves, and then it's gone. I don't feel that stress anymore. I'm telling you, this is real. So going back to science, and I experienced all this year. I don't think it's by chance. God doesn't love suffering, but he works through it. In the Bible, in Job, there's a whole chapter where God spoke out of the storm. It says the Lord spoke out of the storm to Job. Job was the only person that got that. And he was down for he was in so much pain and suffering. He hated the fact that he was born. But that's when God drew near. So I think it could be a gift. Anyway, back to science. They studied the hands of people that laid their hands on the sick. And they found that the energy voltage that came from the hands of these people exceeded by 200 volts the strongest electrocardiogram machine. That's not the right name of it. It's the machine that they use to, resuscitate the heart of people that are dying. I don't know what the name is. My brain's been a little fuzzy from all this. I'm sure you guys know. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah. So it's 200 volts stronger than that machine that the first responders use to electrocute your heart and bring you back. That's crazy to me. And, whenever they studied, when they studied the shroud that Jesus was wrapped in, they studied that for 5 years and found out that the power of the image that was like somehow stamped into that shroud of a man around the same time Jesus was killed, same era, same date, everything. The shroud was found in the tomb. With the power of that flash, which was like stamping the face of a man onto a shroud, the power of that far exceeded any human reality by like billions of particles of energy. So when you think about the quantum realm, the fact that we have it under a microscope now, okay, that's good and that's bad. That's terrifying, but to me also very, 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 very exciting, because now, to me, it's just undeniable proof that we can all go to heaven if we believe in God. Jesus is the only way. Some of you have said in the comments, why don't you bring in any other theology? Because there's only one theology that gets you to heaven. That's my belief. I'll stand by that. This is my channel, so if you don't like it, you can unsubscribe. No, seriously. I'm not going to share stuff on my channel that'll hurt you. And there are a lot of other ways of thinking out there that are just death. There's a kingdom of light and there's a kingdom of darkness. And that is the truth. And I've seen that firsthand these last 6 months. I've seen that with my own eyes. I felt it in my own body. The minute I let stress, fear, worry, anything other than the promises of God enter my mind and my body, I go backwards. It's crazy. And learning how to let go of stress, learning how to be at peace, learning patience, which are all values that we should have as humans, but we lose them because of life. Those are things I've had to learn in these past 6 months. So, I'm still definitely needing, and I know I don't need it because I already see it coming. Total healing is out there and it's happening. I'm a few feet away. And what I see when I look back is all this was a gift. And I think a lot of us are in seasons right now that are going to turn out to be a gift because of what's coming. I think if we weren't prepared in special ways, a lot of us would be wrecked by what's coming, which is the automation of all jobs in the next few decades. The emergence of new technologies, new sources of power, new ways, like even the ways I think our homes are going to be wired up for power in 30 years. It's going to completely change. And the emergence of all of this is going to leave a lot of people feeling like their identity is gone. Because if your identity is in your hustle, you have no identity. I can promise you that. Because when I was laid out, feeling like death, my YouTube subscriber count gave me absolutely no comfort. In fact, it gave me worry. My YouTube subscriber count couldn't hug me back, but my kids could. The people I'm with could. And so I think that was a long way to explain that we're entering a new era. I know it, I see it, I believe it. I don't think it's by chance. I'm here laid out, learning the lessons that I'm literally teaching you guys how to be, not do. And here I was doing, part of my problem was I was going. My salt alarm just came on, which is telling me I need to go. My whole problem was I was going, and I didn't stop, And so we've got to break the whole paradigm. We've got to raise our kids now to get ready for that as well. I'm never going to stop my kid from just playing and for hours on end. I'm not going to force her to work too early. I'm not going to, all of that should be, learn skills. Absolutely. Learn how to bake, learn how to talk to your friends well, learn how to read, learn how to think. That's critical. I'm going to teach my kids that. But hustle for that paycheck, that paradigm is dying. I can tell you that right now. All right, this is a bit long. Let me know in the comments if you like this format. This is so not my style that I used to have. Where I did hair and makeup. I don't have a shred of makeup on, but God's healing me, so there's a nice light to my face. I truly believe that. I just got back from church, actually. We're filming this Sunday a couple hours ago. Totally recharged. And guys, the producers of the Dr. Phil show reached out. My clone and the real me, calling in from the couch, will be on the Dr. Phil show this June 2025. What? The doors are opening even while I'm sitting here But that's God, that's what he does. And he works all things out for the good of those that love him. If you've been adrift, maybe you believed in God for a while, maybe you haven't, I can't encourage you enough. Now is the time to seek him, to put him first. The peace that I've had in the days of complete darkness with my health have been supernatural. And that only happened when I sought God that day. And I just played the Bible. You can play the Bible. There's 8-hour streams on YouTube. Nothing brought me life like that. Nothing brought me life like the worship music from Bethel and all the artists. So if you want peace, peace is found in God. Come to me, all ye who are weary and heavy laden, and I will give you rest. All right. This is the real Julie McCoy signing off. You'll see Dr. McCoy again. And if you want to see the real me, as I'm able to, let me know in the comments. I'd love to know if you like this format. It's great to hang out with you guys, and I do read the comments, and I appreciate so many of you that care about your future, and you're here because of that fact. I respect that. I think that that's amazing, and you should keep that up. Keep studying the trends. Don't get obsessed, but be aware of what is happening in our world. Be aware of the forces of light and darkness, and be in the right circle. And prioritize human connection, because that is going to really matter in the days to come. Really matter. As well as a sound mind, no fear, no judgment, only love. I'm telling you. We're in these times, crazy times. Buckle in. All right. Cheers, guys. Hey, listen. If you want actionable help building your future in the world of artificial intelligence, join my online school, the AI R&D Labs. Inside, we're not just teaching theories. We're sharing the exact systems my team is implementing right now that are delivering massive results for real businesses, including our own at First Movers. For a fraction of the price of what this level of coaching and live training should go for, I'm giving it all to you. Join us inside and learn more about the labs at firstmovers.ai/labs. If this video opened your eyes to something new, hit that subscribe button. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. And let me know in the comments, do you think all jobs will be gone in a matter of decades? See you down the next rabbit hole.